Debuting in Meteorot 8, it is the fluffy Alpaca type, specializing solely in boosting her allies' speed from the start. It is ALP00 Fluffy Hair, with a kit of Heater Plant, Double Heater, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Climber, which grants S rank on mountain terrain, in addition to the leg standard matches. Now, as a model that's available in the permanent pool, that kind of explains a lot of what you should expect out of Fluffy Hair right from start. But looking at her kit in general will also further cement the fact that she's not really someone you want to see on the field often, or even consider many of her parts. But for the sake of breaking down the explanation as to why, Heater Plant is a setup-based skill that, while activated and on the field, will passively boost herself and her allies' heat stats, which is basically running from the starting point to the center line, as long as the plant remains in effect. Heater is a support-based skill that essentially does the same thing, but its effect is more immediate. Activating Heater will instantly boost heat stat by about 50% for herself and her allies. So means that, again, running from starting point to center line, they will run notably faster and make it much easier for you to, say, outrun that sneaky foe that maybe caught you off guard on your first turn. Biped Legs means that Fluffy Hair will have very solid coverage across most terrains, as arguably one of the most versatile leg types of biped, but the leg ability of Climber is probably one of the only forgiving traits to Fluffy Hair when it comes to using her. Primarily for the fact that, by themselves, biped legs have about a B rank on mountain terrain, but having S rank on them means that she will be running notably faster than herself or allies, because she is going to have that terrain advantage working in her favor. But that's essentially it when it comes to using Fluffy Hair in this case, because Heater Plant and Heater are skills you really can't mix together, and makes using her moderately hard. That being said, as a pure set score, I do sadly have to rate Fluffy Hair a pretty flat 1 out of 10 in the bottom of the barrel and bottom of the scale. Even if she does have the very cute appearance working for her, having Heater Plant and Heater makes her incredibly redundant, and it makes using her completely pointless. You either use Heater Plant or you use Heater. You really can't use both because they really won't stack. And it's for that reason that I do rate her so low, unfortunately. As mixed parts, I do have to rate her just a little bit higher at about a 3 out of 10. Again, even if Heater and Heater Plant can't be used together, again, having it on both arms makes it incredibly redundant. It's not to say that these skills are bad, because you can still make decent use of Heater Plant or Heater moderately well, but Heater isn't really something you want to waste an arm slot for, if I'm completely honest. The real only forgiving feature of Fluffy Hair in this case is the Climber leg ability, and that means that even if her legs may not be as higher tier or subpar compared to most other bipeds, having that extra terrain match on there will work to her advantage just a little bit more than most. But when it comes to whether you should use her or not, sadly, I'd say collect her just for the sake of having the parts, but that would sadly be about it, because she really offers nothing on the field that makes her viable or even worth considering.